Hey docs, I'm Tyler. I'm your host, and this is a good problem to have. I wanted to talk about something extremely specific. I get pushback from this pretty often, and so I thought I should address it here. Um, Whenever I'm recommending that physicians look out for disability insurance, I suggest that they look for an agent who can help them find a policy amongst Emeritus, Guardian, Mass Mutual, Principal, and the Standard. There are other very prominent companies out there that offer disability insurance policies that are decent quality, even high quality. And I don't include their name in that list. And it's not because it has anything to do with the quality of the disability insurance policy itself. It is because the culture of the company and the way in which they incentivize their advisors and agents is such that there's a risk that when you go to speak with that person or a given agent or advisor of a company like that, that while they might get you a decent disability insurance policy, they are going to really, really push permanent life insurance. And while there is some limited niche needs for permanent or whole life insurance, it's not extremely common. And so I see a lot of doctors getting hurt by this, and I see a lot of evidence of pushy salespeople trying to make this trying to push that product. And so when I'm saying, hey, you should get some disability insurance, you may may very well come upon an advisor or an agent at a company like this who is not pushy, gets you the great disability coverage, and just gets you term life insurance when it's necessary. I don't know. I don't know, if they will be or not. And obviously, like, it's not on me; it's on you to make those decisions on who you're going to trust. But um, I wanted you all to know that the risk of falling into a relationship that is not really good and not actually helping you to make good financial decisions is too high for me to just generally recommend, be like, yeah, go to this company because they have great disability insurance. Now, no one, if you don't work for that company, you can't get their disability insurance product. And so they just get taken off the table entirely. And, obviously that's not great. That's not great. But, that's just it. You will not go wrong by working with an independent agent who has access to those five companies: Emeritus, Guardian, Mass Mutual, Principal, and the Standard. You're not going to be missing out if you don't get, with this other company. And so that's why I recommend the way that I do. And I feel torn about it because there are some advisors there that do really good work. I just wish that they'd leave and start their own practice, to be honest. But they've got their own reasons, and they're building a practice that's high quality for sure. But as far as like the company-wide culture, there are major systemic problems, and so I just can't recommend it. Um, Hopefully someday that'll change. We'll see. So, wanted to share that with you. Second thing of note, while we're on the topic of disability insurance, is to make sure that you're prioritizing a guaranteed standard issue policy if it is accessible to you through your residency or fellowship program. So, of course, I'm talking to you trainees specifically now. Um, if you, Even if you think that you have like a clean bill of health and there's no issues, it's there haven't been just a few times when a doctor has been surprised to find out that there's some note that their primary care doctor wrote or some specialist wrote years back that is causing concern for the insurance company as they review your application under a medically underwritten policy. And subsequently that causes modifications, or what that means is a reduction in coverage, or a reduction in what will be covered on a policy, or sometimes even a denial. Modifications and denials, it's somewhere in the range of 50% of applications for medically underwritten policies get a modification or a denial. So frankly, it would be immodest for any of us to think that we could go into an underwriting process and just be like, yeah, there's no way that they're going to find anything that will cause any issues for pricing or for coverage. We just don't know. And there's a lot of rules and guidelines that the insurance underwriters follow that we're not familiar with. So if you're a resident or you're a fellow or you're going into a program that you know offers a guaranteed standard issue policy, grab it. You got to get it, because you don't have to go through medical underwriting then. You get $5,000 a month in coverage, and you can ratchet it up as high as $15,000 after training. So even if you're someone who does have some medical issues, or you find out later on that you do, and you can't get a medically underwritten policy, with the GSI, you can get up to $15,000 in coverage, which is much better than nothing if you were to get a denial on a medically underwritten policy. And GSIs, pricing varies, but they are not consistently higher in price than medically underwritten policies. And you might hear some insurance agencies and advisory firms and conglomerates that can do it all for you talking about how GSIs aren't that great or that you don't need it. And it's because they don't have the professional relationships in the insurance industry or within the group of agents that work in the disability space to be able to participate in GSI activity. And so rather than trying to cultivate those relationships, they just talk bad about them and tell you not to buy it, because they can't sell that to you. So be really mindful of these sort of incentives. They exist, they're consistently a problem, and you got to watch out for it. You docs you got a target on your back. The financial industry is very interested in providing you all sorts of products and services, and you do very well need some things. You just got to get the right kind for you. So take your time as you evaluate your own personal decisions. That's all I got for you today. Talk next week.